So D23 has come and gone, and it's safe to say that it was exciting, very exciting, but it was still underwhelming when you compare it to San Diego ComicCon. That was crazy, the reviews and all that. This just showed some footages and brought on some actors to talk about the projects that we already know are confirmed. Now in this video, I'll be talking about all the footages that were shown, the description of it, and a breakdown for it all. So let's get started. I'll be starting off with the ones that were officially released, that is the trailers for Secret Invasion and Werewolf by Night. Now let's start off with Secret Invasion. Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury, who is going to return to Earth. As we know from Far From Home, he was off planet and Talos was impersonating him and taking care of things on Earth. He'll be teaming up with Kobe Smulders, Maria Hill, and Don Cheadle's War Machine. Everett K. Ross will also be back. We last saw him in Black Panther. Emilia Clarke and Olivia Colman will also be debuting in the MCU with undisclosed roles. So basically, the story is going to be about Nick Fury uncovering the Skrull invasion. The Skrull infiltrating the human populace on Earth, in government, heroes, villains, everyone you know is not who you think you know. As we saw from Far From Home, like who else is being taken over, who else has been impersonated by a Skrull, and we don't know yet whether a hero, a villain, a government official, hey, maybe even the president. But it looks like from the trailer, Kingsley Ben-Adir will be playing as the leader of the rebel Skrulls called Graphic, and as they have been suggesting about the show, like Kevin Feige, the showrunners, it's going to be dark and gritty like Captain America Winter Soldier. So yeah, I can't wait for it. Next is Werewolf by Night. We also got a brand new trailer for it, and it will be Marvel Studios' first special presentation coming to Disney Plus on October 7th. The series will star Gael Garcia Bernal as Jack Russell's Werewolf by Night and Laura Donnelly as the monster hunter Elsa Blastone. This MCU film is so unique in the sense that it's all filmed in black and white, like a 40s or 50s horror story, and also debuted the Man-Thing in the MCU. When it comes to the story, it seems to be following some monster hunters who will be seeking or hunting another monster that is hiding amongst them. This, I'm curious to see how it all plays out, and I'm certain it's going to be a unique viewing for sure. Next is Black Panther Wakanda Forever. There was a new footage shown. It shows that Angela Bassett's Queen Ramonda going off on the UN, who are trying to steal vibranium from Wakanda after the death of T'Challa, their Black Panther, their king. It also shows an epic fight between the Dora Milaje, who are going to fight Namor and his Atlanteans, and also a fight between M'Baku and Namor. This movie is just going to pull the heartstrings of many people, especially after the death of Chadwick Boseman. May he rest in peace. Let's move on to Ironheart. Riri Williams, as we know, is going to be in Wakanda Black Panther Forever, and which is going to lead to her own series Ironheart. The footage shows her and her studies at MIT. The show will also start Anthony Ramos, the villain, a magical villain as they say, Red Hood, and as Kevin Feige said, it's going to be a blend between all cross-section of magic and technology. As Riri Williams dabs in science and technology, Red Hood is someone who thinks about magic, so it's going to be an interesting show, especially after Tony is dead. We all know that he influences her very much in the comics. Next, we have the Echo series coming to Disney Plus. So joining Alaka Cox in this series is Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. Charlie Cox will also return as Daredevil / Matt Murdock, and the show is essentially going to be her origin story as she heads back to her hometown, but also the consequences of her actions in New York. She working for Kingpin and doing all that stuff will catch up with her, and she will have to deal with it. So the footage starts with the Native American ancestors, presumably, showing the past and ancestry of Native Americans, and of course leading back to her, and also showing her getting a badass warrior brace for her leg. And it finally ends with Kingpin showing up, missing an eye, and saying to Maya, "It's been a long time." I have a feeling that this show is going to be slept on and people are going to realize it's an amazing show. And I just can't wait for more Daredevil and Kingpin, of course, Maya Lopez in the mix. We now have Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, a movie that is very much said that is going to create a lot of chaos and very much have a great effect in the MCU going forward. Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, and Jonathan Majors were there on stage to show some new footage and talk about the movie. Mostly the same, almost the same footage from San Diego Comic-Con, and it shows Scott Lang, who is promoting his new book. He's now a celebrity, who finds out that his daughter has been arrested. There's going to be an explosion in the lab, which is going to send Scott, Casey, Hank, Janet, Hope all into the quantum realm. And it is there that they have to navigate through the unknown, interacting with strange new creatures. They will be guided by Janet, who's already been in the quantum realm, so she knows a way around for the most part. They will be meeting Bill Murray, who has some sort of past with Janet. And in the footage, Kang will be looking to recruit Scott to help him in a time heist. Scott is going to refuse, and Kang is going to pin him telepathically on the wall effortlessly. The footage just shows him that he's terrifying, his suit looks amazing, and it also taunts Scott about him always bragging, just like the Lions did, about saving the world and all that. He's also going to ask him the question whether he's killed him before in another timeline or universe. They said that it was just bone chilling with that speech. This movie is also said to link directly to Avengers Kang's dynasty, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's Kang, but it also begs the question, is this Kang that we're going to see in AntMan Quantomania the main Kang or what? We now have Loki season 2 with the main cast on stage and the new cast. You may recognize him from Everything All at Once, Ke-Huy Quan, who will play an agent in the TVA. The footage shows that Loki will be sent to different branch realities through time. Essentially, he's going to warn other people, try to warn them about Kang's arrival, the calm before the storm, the war that is coming. But before that, season 2 is going to pick up right after season 1's ending, and Mobius and Hunter B-15 have no idea who Loki is. The show is said to be even more multiversal than Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and it's one of my mostly highly anticipated shows coming next year. Now, let's talk about the Marvels. The movie centered on the 3 superpowered heroes, Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and Maria Rambeau. And the footage shown shows that the movie picks off right after Miss Marvel, the finale, if you saw it. Monica Rambeau is communicating with Nick Fury. Nick Fury is going to be training her how to be a hero, maybe an agent, maybe both. But whilst doing that, she swapped with Kamala. It also shows Carol Danvers in Kamala's room, as we saw from the post-credit scene in the finale of Miss Marvel. And they are both going to be in the house, all looking for Kamala. We also see Kamala's family, and all this while Kamala is in space with Goose. So what all this craziness is about is that these 3, their light powers have entangled in such a way that whenever one uses her powers, they swap places. Zawe Ashton is going to play a mysterious villain who carries a hammer-headed staff. There were bits and pieces of the footage shown, but I'll just put it all on screen for you guys to see. Also shows some action-packed bits, and also shows a scene where they are all together and Kamala says we are a team. Monica says no, and Carol says we are not a team, and it ends with the music of the Beastie Boys playing. Now, Don Chido being in Secret Invasion is going to lead into his own series, Armor Wars. The story is going to involve Tony Stark, his tech and his suits, people trying to convert it, the government, villains, everyone. And Rhodey will be trying to get ahead of all that and protect the legacy of his best friend. It's going to be filled with action and political intrigue, and it's going to start filming next year. Next, we have Captain America, New World Order, the next mission, the next adventure for Sam Wilson, now that he's Captain America. Anthony Mackie was on stage, of course, he's Captain America himself. Tim Blake Nelson will also be in the movie, and he's going to be playing the leader. He's going to be the main villain. We haven't seen him for about 14 years since the Incredible Hulk movie in 2008, since he was teased to be the leader and get involved in the MCU more, and now he's going to be part. Cara Lumley will also be returning to play Isaiah Bradley, the first black super soldier who we last saw in Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Danny Ramirez will also be returning as Joaquin Torres, who will take over the mantle of Falcon from Sam, and introducing a new actor and character to the MCU in the form of Shira Hans, who will be playing the first Israeli superhero named Sabra. She's a mutant with super strength, speed, agility, all that physically enhanced stuff. And she also has regenerative healing factor. I, for one, I can't wait for this new Captain America movie. Even though it's not going to be with Chris Evans, I'm excited to see Anthony Mackie, as I very much enjoyed him in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now, if you're hoping that all your worries will come to rest and that you will finally get the Fantastic Four cast, then you're going to be very disappointed. Marvel just said, psych. Instead, we are only going to get a director revealed. Matt Shakman of WandaVision is going to direct the movie, and yeah, so now all the fan casting is just going to go on and on and on until Marvel and Kevin Feige decide to quench our thirst for this piece of information. Now we have Thunderbolts, the movie that is going to end phase 5, and Kevin Feige brought on the cast that are going to be in this team. And they are David Harbour as Alexei, Red Guardian, Hannah John Kamen as Ghost, Julia Louis-Dreyfus as Valentina Allegra Devontaine, who is going to go around recruiting all of them, Wyatt Russell as John Walker, US agent, Sebastian Stan as Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier, can't believe he's going to be in this, and Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova. She's going to be the leader of the Thunderbolts. And I have to admit, I'm kind of surprised that Sebastian Stan is going to play Bucky Barnes or Winter Soldier, whatever name is going to be called in this movie, because it kind of felt like he and Sam Wilson were going to, King being the team. But it does make sense though, since Sam Wilson is now Captain America, he's going to be in the Avengers, and Bucky is certainly not going to be in the Avengers, so it makes sense he's in this team full of anti-heroes and villains. And he's even the most reformed out of all of them, as Kevin Feige said. Anyway, super pumped for this movie. Can't wait for this Avengers-like team, but with these characters who are known to be villains and, as I said, anti-heroes, depending on which you want to call them. And lastly, we have Daredevil Born Again, one of my highly anticipated shows and even MCU projects. Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio are returning right after they are also going to star in Echo before this show. Man, they are getting all the love. And what's crazy about this show is that it's going to be an 18-episode season. Like 18. Like, wow. What made Kevin Feige say that, this freaking Daredevil show, let's make it 18 episodes, whilst the other shows have been 6 episodes, 9 episodes. He must really love the Daredevil character and Charlie Cox and D'Onofrio's portrayal as Daredevil and Kingpin to do this. And since the show starts filming next year, there weren't any footage to show, but they did show a certain footage from She-Hulk episode 5, which featured Matt Murdock, Daredevil. The footage shows that She-Hulk and Daredevil are teaming up to fight some enemies in a warehouse. Matt identifies the exact amount of people in there by listening to their heartbeats, and Jen doesn't believe that he actually could do that, so he leans in and listens to her heartbeat. They become so close to each other that they almost kiss, but they don't. Their dynamic in this footage is just incredible, and they both flirt a lot in it. This just makes me so excited for next episode, and I just can't wait. Now that's everything that was shown at D23 for Marvel Studios' upcoming projects. Phase 5, they were all Phase 5 projects, and it was a bit underwhelming, though excited to see these new updates on these upcoming projects. It would have been excited to, fill in the slots that were not filled in Phase 6, but they may be also trying to do that in a different convention or something. But I'm still super excited to see all these projects, especially Daredevil Born Again. Now let me know in the comments below what you thought of these projects and how excited are you for them, and what is your top 3 anticipated one, or maybe top 5. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and turn on that post notification bell not to miss any other video. As always, Ned is AJ. See you guys in the next one.